I'm not gonna pay the check if you're not gonna sleep with me. That doesn't make any sense.
What do you mean? Like, I mean, okay, like...
Okay, well, you don't have to be weird about it.
Girl, this is you right now. Stand up.
Mama, he sounds like a narcissist.
I think you should ghost him for 4 days straight.
Have you heard of the let them theory?
Don't text him back yet. He's gonna think you're crazy.
Your life will get easier when you start seeing women as children.
Okay. Whatever that means.
They're gonna cry, they're gonna whine for attention, they're gonna not know what's going on, they have no self-awareness, and when you understand this, you can handle them better.
This is what my mornings look like as a 25-year-old stay-at-home girlfriend. I fill up Luke and I's water bottles to make sure we're hydrated, tidied up our bedroom, made the bed. Then I did my very long skincare routine.
You do not have to accept her rejection. I'm a professional dating coach and I teach guys how to understand the female mind.
No. I said no. You can kill all that right now. Like at this moment, stop.
So we've all basically really just established that dating really just sucks now for literally everybody. The very same dating apps that were supposed to make our lives more convenient and make dating easier for us have now just actually opened a Pandora's box of other issues that have now popped up. And today we're just going to be diving right into some of these issues that I've come upon. This is Molly Rudder, a creator who went viral in 2024 for her constant dating videos. She will constantly talk about every single date that she goes on, vlog on the date, you know, just really invade these people's privacy.
My first date in like a month. Guys, I feel really cute tonight. Ready for a dating recap? This one's a doozy. All right, so I have a date tomorrow. There's this girl who comes outside and she's clearly looking for something. All right, let's go to this date, shall we? Oh my god, okay, so I'm about to FaceTime date that guy. Oh my god, I'm like so nervous.
There is just nothing sacred to her. She got into a controversy in the same year, I believe, because she faked a DV situation so that she could have more content for her dating vlog. But I don't bring up her videos to ridicule her, to make fun of her, to make another shallow video like, unfortunately, like I made back then. I bring her up as an example of some of the things that I really think the internet has done to dating that have removed the human element of things and have made every single thing performative and for other people to watch and for other people to pay attention to. Every aspect of our lives for some reason has become a public spectacle. We are now not doing things for ourselves. We are now performing for other people, performing for other people's potential opinions, trying to shape and change situations so that people will either agree with us, disagree with us, so we can use that as rage bait. Nothing that we do is for ourselves anymore, and I'm so tired of it. Everything is recorded. Trends are made to embarrass and harass people who exist in a manner that is divergent from the, I don't know what y'all want, the cookie cutter type of normal behavior that y'all expect from literally everybody. When people are so different on so many levels and are so unique, I think uniqueness is one of the things that makes us human, but for some reason the internet took that and ran with that and said, well, you know, we can give a unique girl, you know, a week of press before we move on to the next thing, but ultimately, if you go out of line, if you act in a way that's deemed as cringe by the internet, you're over. You can't expose yourself. You can't be yourself. And before we get right into that, here's a quick message from our sponsor, Opera Browser. It can be hard to find a good browser, especially one that's as easy and intuitive to use as Opera Browser. I often find myself having multiple tabs open for things like script writing and research, and that often gets incredibly difficult very quickly on some browsers. However, Opera Browser offers tab islands, allowing you to quickly and easily group tabs by context. They also expand and collapse, which really helps to avoid clutter. For example, for my video scripts, I can have one island focusing on websites, while another can be filled with TikToks that I plan to react to. Another thing that I really do love about Opera is its split screen feature. You can just drag the tab down the center of the screen and that's it. You can compare to text, take notes while reading, or even watch videos while shopping. Simply drag one of the tabs down and you've got 2 pages in one. Now another feature I really like about Opera is the music player. You can easily connect your accounts from one of the major streaming services on the market. For example, I connected my Apple Music, and you can play music in the browser quickly and pop it out in the mini player. And you can use it nearly anywhere, even outside of the browser. For example, if you wanted to play a game while streaming your favorite song, you absolutely can. And if you thought the music mini player was good, wait until you hear about Opera Browser's video pop-out feature. Simply click the little square icon over the video and it pops into a mini player. That way you can have the video playing while you work, while you game, etc. And I really love this. You can easily move the video around while you work, which is very crucial in this multitasking era. It allows you to do two things at once in a way that's both intuitive and easy. And these are just a few of the many features that Opera Browser offers. So if you'd like to give it a try, increase your productivity, and be able to have easy access to your tabs, music, and videos, click the link down below in the description or in the pinned comment. And thank you so much to Opera Browser for being a fantastic sponsor of the channel. And if you want to make your life easier, make sure to give Opera Browser a try. You have to be like everybody else. In their article, Cringe Culture is for people who are afraid to enjoy anything, Feifei Writes discusses how the internet has become a place that literally hates whimsy and joy. How do you call someone's outfit ugly if they think they look cool? Someone walks into a room wearing something you would never wear, something you think looks ridiculous, and there's this impulse to laugh, to point, to text your friend about how terrible someone's style is. But the person wearing the outfit feels good. They looked in the mirror and thought, yes, this is me. They chose this. They like this. Who are you to take that away from them? I see this everywhere now. Someone posts a song they love and comments fill up with people mocking their taste. Someone shares a hobby and strangers line up to call them cringe. Someone talks about what brings them joy and the internet decides that their joy is wrong or embarrassing or proof of bad character. When did we decide that our preferences were universal truths? There's a difference between saying this isn't for me and saying this is objectively bad and you're wrong for liking this. There's a difference between disliking something and needing everyone to know you dislike it, needing to make sure the people who do like it feel stupid or embarrassed or less than. The world is full of things I don't understand, music I don't connect with, fashion I wouldn't wear, hobbies I have no interest in, and none of that diminishes the people who love those things. Their joy doesn't require my approval. Their happiness doesn't need my validation. And I really liked this piece, and I feel like this is a message the entire internet needs to hear, and I think it's so relevant as it pertains to talking about relationships, dating, all that stuff, right? Because every single time a couple goes on the For You page, and if one of them looks in a way that the internet doesn't deem to be attractive enough, it's, oh, why are you with this ugly man? Oh, the man is chopped. Oh, the girl is chopped. It's like, do you ever stop to think that maybe people have different opinions of what is attractive to them? And just because you don't like something doesn't mean that someone else has to fall into your same exact opinion. And I really thought a good example of this behavior was when Heated Rivalry came out and the actors didn't fit y'all's standard of attractiveness. Hudson Williams is ugly and a queer baiter. I never watched Heated Rivalry, and I never will, because too many straight girls made it their whole personality, and also the actors are ugly. The Heated Rivalry guy kind of has a face you would see carved into a volcano at a miniature golf course. Not falling for Heated Rivalry propaganda because these boys are kind of ugly. When I saw this tweet, I hadn't watched Heated Rivalry, so I was like, who are these ugly men? And then I watched it. They're still ugly. Heated Rivalry is a good show, though. I don't understand the mass psychosis. Maybe you don't understand the mass psychosis because literally not every single person has to be for you. And I understand that sometimes in these internet circles, it's like, oh, if you don't find this person attractive, you're weird, you're wrong. But in this case, a lot of people could find someone attractive and you don't necessarily have to find that person attractive. I think a lot of the problems on the internet as it pertains to dating, as it pertains to people just showing their dating lives to others and just the constant wall of judgment that they'll be met with is just the fact that people don't understand that not everything has to fit in your little bubble. Like that one video of that girl who was talking about, oh, here's how to make pea soup. What if I don't like pea soup in the comments? Well, don't watch the video. Don't interact with the content. So much of our peace could be protected if we realize, hey, I can hit that block button. I can hit that not interested button. I don't have to engage with content that rages me out. And I need to follow this advice as well because I will rage bait myself by watching these creators who are absolutely horrific. That can be entertaining as well, but for our own safety and our own peace, we need to realize that not everything is for us. And I also think that some of us need to realize that maybe relationships aren't for us. Maybe marriage is not for us. Maybe we don't need to get into these relationships. Like, society has this way of trying to force everybody into this one type of relationship, forcing everybody into this one idea of what romance means. And it can mean so many different things for different people. You got fed that fairy tale, oh, you're gonna find the one, you're gonna find the one so fast, all this stuff. And yeah, some people might. Good for them. But it's not a linear journey for every single person. So many things differ. Circumstances differ. You could be gay in the middle of a conservative-ass town in the middle of nowhere. Things are different. Things progress differently. I bring this up because the same cringe culture that kind of drives people hating anything they see as being out of the norm is, I think, an extension of the nonchalance that everyone seems to be so obsessed with. If you don't know what nonchalance means, it's basically this feeling of nothing. You're kind of just meh, you're numb to the world around you. You don't want to be seen as dramatic, passionate, fiery. You don't want to, I don't know, it's like you don't want to engage or interact with the world around you. You just kind of exist. You can't be desperate, you can't yearn, you can't actually feel things for someone because that's cringy. That's too much. Oh, all these people want to be in relationships. Well, relationships are just so cringy to me. And that can be fine, but like my thing is just don't put that on everybody else. Just because you think everybody should do this doesn't mean that everybody's gonna do this. And I really just hate this overarching cultural thing we've seen because people who are already feeling secure, teenagers, people who've already been through a lot, who are already in a mentally tough place, are basically robbed of discovering themselves. I can't count how many Gen Zs I've seen go on the internet and talk about, oh my gosh, my glow up. And it's like, yeah, you were literally 10 years old in the last photo. Like, of course you glue up. Like, are we supposed to find this 10-year-old attractive? Are we supposed to look a certain way to everybody else when we're 10 years old? Can we not have a little phase of discovering ourselves, of wearing things that we might be ashamed of in the future? Like, it's not rocket science, but I do think it's kind of crazy how the internet has really tried to normalize not having a cringe phase, not getting into things, not enjoying life. And it really does make me sad to think that people aren't going to be able to experience that phase. I personally was able to grow so much, to learn so much. Yes, I had a little emo phase. Yes, I was really into anime at a point. None of those things I think are necessarily cringe. None of those things are necessarily something to be ashamed of. It's a part of me. And I think as I get older, I start to realize that all of the experiences that I've had, good or bad, all of the fandoms I've been in, all the internet eras I've been in, they're all useful in some way to guide me to the future, to help me understand an aspect of. I honestly think that the internet and the constant urge to make everything public and the constant urge for us to get validation from strangers on the internet for every single circumstance, to perform in a way that others expect us to, has in so many ways robbed us of a more authentic and genuine love and robbed us of so many genuine and authentic interactions. That's why I think authenticity is so popular now, and people are like, oh my gosh, I only like to watch influencers who are authentic, who are real with us, because it is so rare to actually see someone who's just authentically themselves and is not performing in some type of way.
Put the phone down, you freak. Some of you are just way too comfortable taking photos and videos of people. How do you not feel weird about it? And I hate the like, we're in a public space, so like, what do you expect? Common decency? I don't know. Today I was trying out a new gym and I literally sent photos to my boyfriend, which these pictures are literally on my phone and being sent to my boyfriend. That's it. And I made sure in every photo I took, no one was just like in the background because I'm like, it feels rude. Like, these people are here to work out. They're not here for a photo shoot. Like, they should be entitled to like common decency. And like, I was able to take the photos at the gym and no one was in the background.
And this creator is absolutely right. I don't mean to sound like your mother or your parents who tell you to get off your phone constantly, but seriously, I think our phones are low-key rotting our brains in some ways. Robbing us of genuine connection, robbing us of actually talking to people. How many times have you seen a TikTok of someone being like, oh my gosh, find this guy, when the person is literally right in front of them and they could literally reach out and grab them, reach out and talk to them. Well, probably not grab them, that would be weird. Reach out and talk to them. Like, it is like, this person is 10 feet in front of you. Why are you not talking to them? Why are you asking us to do the work? And I just wanted to end this section, wrap it with a little tight bow, with a few quotes from Hasif's Social Media Ruined Romance. There was a time, yes, a time before dating apps, algorithmic thirst traps, and what you do in text that romance felt like yearning, a word we don't use enough, a word that used to fill entire notebooks and unsent letters, a word that lived in the silent spaces between two people who hadn't yet touched hands but had memorized every line of each other's faces. Romance used to be waiting, waiting for their letter, waiting outside the library hoping they'd pass by, waiting to see them across the room, waiting for the school bell to ring, waiting for MSN to show them as online. When the internet was introduced, something changed. Somewhere along the way, love became a performance. You're not dating, you're curating, you're branding, you're editing the story of your relationship for consumption. Soft launch this, hard launch that. archived because we broke up, but I'm still leaving the highlights so people know I was once loved. We're no longer feeling things. We're posting feelings. We're performing grief. We're monetizing desire. We're trying to win breakups. Is it a real heartbreak if you didn't post a moody photo? We don't want people. We want attention. We want to be wanted. And when we're not, we download the app again and restart the cycle. It's a slot machine, and maybe, just maybe, we'll hit the jackpot this time. They kind of ate this, and I do feel like they also touched on an aspect of love online that I really didn't think about, which is kind of the performance of it all, not even just in dating and looking for someone. It's kind of just this projection of, I'm wanted, I'm loved, let me show you that I've been in a relationship before. And it's kind of just this performative, I haven't been in a relationship before, am I worthless? People telling you that because you haven't gotten to a relationship at a certain age or hit a milestone at a certain age that you're hopeless. And that is not true in any shape or form. I feel like we constantly try to quantify and put age labels on when we should be in relationships, when it's like, no, you don't have to be in a relationship in high school to be a well-rounded person. Like, no, you don't have to be in a fully committed relationship for a year by a certain age. Like, you're not done just because you're not meeting the standards of what other people are setting for you. And they kind of ate this because we are transitioning to talking about the dreaded talking stage. I know I just said talking twice. But I think the talking stage has become kind of emblematic of an overall lack of commitment and just this middle ground type of situationship that has become so popular for some reason. This isn't a y'all need to get married at 20, because we're absolutely also going to be talking about the creators who kind of just spread this idea that everybody should be getting married at 20. You should have kids at 25, no job, just rely on your man. Like, no, that is not a tenable solution. But the talking stage is honestly truly a very horrifying time. It's like a limbo phase where you aren't really sure if you're anything, but you're also constantly worried about whether the other person feels the same way or whether they'll find somebody else they think is better and just replace you. In their Substack, yours truly, Doyen, touched on the talking stage and just the insanity of it overall. This modern day talking stage is a new scam. Nobody even wants to get to know each other anymore. We've skipped commitment and yearning and just jump straight into the room. It's cute in theory when someone feels like you're their missing piece, but this isn't that. Alay, I'm not yours, I'm for myself. It feels like we're clowning ourselves, a continuous circus of madness that won't stop anytime soon. Everyone is chill now, but some of you are not okay. Nobody wants commitment, nobody wants to ask, what are we? Because deep down, we know the answer will humble us. Now everybody wants vibes with benefits. You want relationship privileges, but you don't want the relationship. Now that line really stuck with me because I feel like this is so emblematic of so many experiences that I've had just going on the dating apps, because the truth is that a lot of people on dating apps are not really looking to date, if that makes sense. If you've ever gone on Tinder or wherever and you just see the short term, you know what you're getting into, and it is just not necessarily a great experience. You should both have this mutual understanding of what you're getting into, and the fact that this is not going to be an actual committed relationship. It's just going to be y'all doing whatever y'all do for whatever amount of time. But it's also almost torture because you start to develop feelings for this person. You start to think that this person is there for you, when in reality, that person probably has 5 other people who they're supposed to be there for. And it's not even like we have to be monogamous, we have to do things a certain way. It's kind of just a fear, I think, that people have, and also just this idea that there's someone constantly better for them, that they don't want to settle down or pick one person because, what if I get a new match on Tinder tomorrow and the next guy is hotter? It's this endless paradox of choice that we cannot escape. And that really has, I think, just set us back and pushed us into this situationship, vibes-based relationships that I think ultimately end up hurting a lot of people. I feel like so many people are just afraid of titles in general, like girlfriend, boyfriend, partner, whatever. It just really feels like people are so terrified to be together, to commit to one person, because like I was saying earlier, in that commitment, oh my gosh, what if I miss out on XYZ? And it's like, well, I'm not saying that you have to settle, but I am saying that I feel like we are so afraid of not even just settling, right? Because you can break up with a boyfriend, you can break up with a girlfriend. You are not marrying this person by dating them, right? And being in a committed relationship. You are just committing to this person. I feel like so many people are afraid of commitment because they think that commitment closes any other options in their life because they think that commitment will totally just shut off everything forever, right? And then on the other hand, you have this group of people who are finding the first person that reciprocates their feelings, getting married, and then looking down on everybody or just promoting their way of life as the only way of life. Like, yes, I'm happy for you, but it's also kind of like a situation where I'm like, okay, and like, what do you want me to do about that? Like, I'm glad you found your person. I'm glad you're married at 20 or whenever, right? Do you want applause? Do you want us to cheer for you? Or, okay, like, I'm glad for you. Let's move on. Now, I'm going to very quickly talk about the nonchalance epidemic very shortly before I get into what I think will ultimately be the meat and potatoes of the videos, which is the horrors of dating and relationship advice that I think are currently everywhere. And some of y'all just shouldn't be giving dating or relationship advice. Some of y'all should just be quiet. This is from yet another Substack, Kitty is not a cat. There is a performance of indifference that seems to have infected everything. A collective brushing off, a studied detachment, a calculated apathy. Enthusiasm is embarrassing. The safest thing is to be unmoved. We are training ourselves to care just enough to seem aware, but not enough to risk looking naive. This nonchalance is everywhere. We preface our interest with self-depreciation, as if to admit we enjoy something without irony is to hand over a weapon to be used against us. Text punctuated with an LOL to soften the reality of sincerity, an IDK to dodge commitment, the act of leaving someone on red as a power play. Instagram captions are dry to the point of parody, as if preemptively mocking the art of sharing itself. Vulnerability has become a liability and detachment the default. It sucks the life out of you, this unspoken agreement that nothing can be too important. It seeps into how we create, how we engage with the world, how we love. Reply times have to be carefully considered. Not too fast, not too slow. You shouldn't post too much or too little. Your caption should be witty yet effortless. Enthusiasm measure, your present felt but not overwhelming. Every interaction is a calculation, a delicate balancing act between seeming interested and laid back. Ironically, being this way takes far more conscious effort than authenticity, a constant performance of trying too hard. Now, this really hits for me because I feel like in so many aspects of my life, I am constantly just preparing for what other people around me will think, will say, will do. I hate to say it's the performative era, but we have entered the performative era. Everybody online wants to be seen as the coolest, as the chillest, as the most unbothered. And it's like, I feel like it's very much valid to be bothered by certain things. And I feel like people get annoyed when someone online has feelings. Like, when someone online has emotions and is human, it is, oh my gosh, they're crashing out. Oh my gosh, this is so funny. Oh my gosh, like, I can't believe that this person is crashing out. Well, what is that person supposed to do? Just be chill, to sit around? I think that's why we've really seen this rise in just like people feeling so detached from others, so afraid to talk about their own experiences, so afraid to share what's been bothering them. Because it's like, if you share what's been bothering you, you're kind of admitting that you're not this nonchalant shell of a person. And I really do think a lot of this nonchalance comes from the fact that so much has happened. And this is not a, oh my gosh, like we joke about wars moment. Oh, this is so funny, so cute. It's kind of a more like capitalism is kind of collapsing all around us moment, right? Everything that we were promised is kind of falling apart. The days of having a $500 apartment or being able to get anything with less than $20, including fast food, like I'm not joking you, if you want to go anywhere with $10 for a meal, you are going to get the bare minimum kids meal. And you would be lucky to skate by, I think, with $10 at McDonald's, low key. Like, all the things that we were promised that, you know, were expected to keep us in line, to keep us happy, to keep us chill, are not there anymore. And just anytime we bring this up, anytime we talk about the fact that, you know, hey, what happened to this, right? Wasn't this promised to us? Isn't this something that we're supposed to have? Aren't we supposed to be able to live on one income, have kids, buy a house? Isn't that something nice we can have? It's like, oh, you guys are just so entitled. You guys think you deserve everything. I had to work hard for this. And I'm like, I'm not saying you didn't have to work hard. I'm just saying that things have changed from a point where you could realistically work with one income to buy a house to a situation where people are making hundreds of thousands of dollars. And in some areas of the country, it is so still impossible to get a house. And it's also almost impossible to pay rent in some places. Like, I'm not even joking when I tell you, or even get a job. Let's talk that tea. Because the way that people were like, it's just like every single field, every single thing that's like, oh, this is the new hot thing. This is the new hot thing. In 3 years, it's like, okay. Like, feel so bad for the people who are in my age range. Like, I'm class of 23, class of 27 for college. We were like, I feel like when I was graduating, it was like, oh my gosh, everybody be a comp sci major, be a coder, do this. Then AI started taking them jobs. AI started taking them jobs. And now it is like, oh, don't be a comp sci major. Oh, do this instead. Do this instead. This is the only useful major. This is the only useful thing. And it's like, oh my God. But it's also, I think, extended to our romantic relationships, right? We're so obsessed with this performance of nonchalance because somehow being vulnerable is embarrassing. Especially for men. For some reason, a lot of men think that vulnerability or loving somebody is something to be embarrassed about, something to send the group chat. Countless videos of men being posted online, like cuddling with their girlfriends, and it's somehow supposed to be funny or a meme to like, oh, this is so embarrassing. Like, he was really loving his girlfriend. I'm like, hello. What happened to being able to be a human that has emotions? I honestly feel like I let the world suck out the whimsy I had as a kid. I was so nice, so sweet, so open about my interests. I had my little Skechers shoes, and there was still this push to just be so tough, so uncaring, so hard. So I don't care about anything. I'm so cool. I don't care about getting good grades. Now, lastly, we are going to transition to the last section of the video, which I think is going to be the most annoying and the most controversial. People might get mad at me, but we're going to get into dating advice because I honestly feel like it's gotten terrible on both ends of the spectrum. And this isn't we're going to sit on the fence, women are too picky. Like, no, men literally have a history of spewing out this rhetoric about women. And now every man with a microphone thinks that every little, anti-women take they have is revolutionary or something that we should all be hearing about. And it's like, no, I don't really care about your take. Sorry. So we are just going to take a look at some of the amazing dating advice that people on the internet have decided to give to us.
You do not have to accept her rejection.
I'm pretty sure you do, or else there's a thing called, stalking, harassment. I don't know, but I just feel like when somebody says no, they're a human being and they reserve the right to not enter a relationship or do anything with you if they don't want to. But I don't know, maybe I'm being too woke.
I'm a professional dating coach and I teach guys how to understand the female mind.
I just really think that is such a good summary, I think, of a lot of the dating coach space. While I do feel like some people really authentically want to help others be more successful in romance, I feel like there is a large swath of these dating coaches that literally just do nothing other than spew basic, literal, so simple psychology facts and honestly a lot of falsities and mistakes. Like, instead of treating these women like human beings, like they are, maybe talking to them or accepting that rejection and understanding that this person doesn't want to be with you, these people are so obsessed with entering into a relationship that they are willing to ignore a person's rejection. And, this person didn't just, step back and say, oh, I was joking, I was rage baiting. Here's what they said in basically a part 2 to that video. They continue to stand on what they said.
You don't have to accept her rejection. Remember that video? Here's a dating truth that you've never heard because everybody's too chicken shit to fucking say it. Women often reject men they actually like. Do you know that? Sounds backwards, but psychology actually explains why. When a woman feels attraction, it triggers vulnerability, and vulnerability scares her more than boredom ever will. And there's many reasons that this can happen. She could be worried about the fact that she's going to give herself to another schmuck that has no idea or doesn't get it when it comes to dating. Or it can be that they got out of a relationship, a long-term relationship.
I think this is just really terrifying because it exemplifies more than anything the fact that these men think they know better than what a woman wants. They know better than her own opinion, than her own thoughts about something. They know so well that they can actually tell her what to do. Like, that is insane. That is basically what he's saying here. Yeah, no matter how many psychology facts you try to wrap yourself in or how many experiences you try to wrap yourself in, I don't think that a person saying no means they actually want to say yes. That is so weird. And that is, I think, really just the whole, this really just sums up my whole issue with this dating advice genre, especially these men who claim to be pickup artists who just walk on the street harassing women. And maybe, maybe they have a luck. Maybe some people like that behavior, but I feel like the wide majority of people do not like these freaks trying to pick them up as if they're type of social experiment. Like, And can we even just talk about the entire alpha sphere in general and how it's so cringe, how it's so detached from humanity or human emotion? And then there's this entirely other side of things, because yes, there are women who parrot these talking points. And I just really hate how there's this cutesy branding added to it. It's like, yes, submit to your husband. You know, he's just in charge of the household, the finances, your life's trajectory, but you're still in control and you have to do this. Like, sorry, that's one thing I'm going to refuse to allow the internet claw for me. I have hope that people will start to accept that everyone's different, that this current trend of nonchalance will soon pass, that it will become trendy because, of course, being different is also a trend. So it's like, if I'm different by actually expressing myself, actually being a human being, hey, that's going to start trending. I really think that this current trend that is attempting to further a history of centuries of oppression of women will ultimately fail because it's just not tenable anymore practically. Y'all want women not to work, to submit to their husbands, but the truth is that the system that we live under is so untenable, so unstable, that it really doesn't allow for this. We can't afford anything. We can't afford to live off of one single income with children. Sorry that wasn't as hopeful as I thought, but let me end it off with a little bit. I do feel, or I hope, that authentic human connection will win, that we will realize that we are so much more alike than we are different, that we will realize that it's not cringe or weird to have human emotions, that we'll get over this little phase of trying to be nonchalant, trying to be cool, that we'll realize that authentic feeling is more important than performative little stories or reels or hard launches. I don't know. I just really do have hope that love, romance, and actual authentic feeling and emotion will ultimately win. But yeah, that's all for me. Thank you all so much for watching. I have been your host, Justin Jordan. I have been Justin Jordan. I will see you all next time, and have a great day, night, or whenever you're watching this. Bye, everybody.